Hi, this is Christy at the West Regional Branch of the Mobile Public Library, and today we're bringing you more of our series, Share Your Story, Military Memories. And today we have as our special guest, Peggy Castile-Thrash. Ms. Thrash, thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you. And thank you for taking the time. So we did obviously want to talk to you about your military service. So to get us started, if you'll tell us like when you were enlisted and what branch and things like that.
Well, I'm retired Coast Guard. I enlisted in 1976 into the reserves right here in Mobile.
Okay.
And my civilian position in life, job rather, was public relations. So fortunately for me, I was able to travel, and there was always a reserve unit available for me to continue, you know, my weekends monthly. In 1980, I got a call asking if I would want to go on active duty.
Wow.
And of course, my first question was, are we at war?
Yeah.
And no, they just were very limited with my position in the Coast Guard. So I went on active duty in April 1980, and my first duty station was Hawaii.
Wow.
And they actually gave me an opportunity to choose where I wanted to go, and I picked Hawaii because I thought they would say no and I could back out gracefully. But once they said yes, you know, I was on my way.
Right.
So my very first active duty station was in Hawaii.
Okay. And what was that experience like?
It was extremely gratifying. First of all, the Coast Guard mission was life-saving. And in Hawaii, of course, with all of the water and all of the visitors, there was a lot of opportunity for life-saving missions.
Right.
Unfortunately, that was not what I did in the Coast Guard. I worked in the legal office. I was a court reporter and part of the legal staff. But it was very rewarding. I had an opportunity to use my public relations background and actually created a program of visibility for the Coast Guard because there were a lot of physical fitness activities on the island.
Right.
And there was never any participation by the Coast Guard, and I felt that our mission was the most important.
Okay.
So I was able to create that, and in doing that, I was able to run Honolulu marathons representing the Coast Guard and also compete in bodybuilding representing the Coast Guard.
Wow.
So it was a great time for me, and physically especially.
Sure, how exciting. Wow. So after you finished your duty there and your tour in Hawaii, where did you go from there?
I actually spent 6 years in Hawaii, and prior to Hawaii, I was 4 years reserve.
Right.
Unfortunately, I went on vacation and landing in Miami. As we descended, we hit wind shear, and I received permanent damage, physical damage, which if you are physically damaged, have a physical disability, then you're not able to complete your full duty status. So I was retired.
Okay. Okay.
I was retired in February of 1986.
Yes, ma'am. Well, what would you say maybe about your service? How did that impact your life, or what lessons did you learn from that?
I think the biggest impact on me was the ability to work within an organization that the rules were already established. Right. There was no, of course there's always some opportunity for personal interpretation, but we had regulations, and coming from a civilian work environment and going into a military work environment, it was very gratifying for me because if there was anything you were not sure of, it was written in a regulation.
Okay.
So I really used that even after I retired from the Coast Guard, and in the different things that I do even now in my volunteer service or whatever. You know, I want to make sure that people who come to work with me or whatever, they have their rules and regulations, and they can go to them, and that organization will be governed by that.
Right. Yes, ma'am. Okay. What would you say maybe to a young person who was considering enlisting or, considering being part of the reserves? What would you say to them?
I would say it's an excellent opportunity because for me, it wasn't initially a patriotic motivation. I was a single mother, and it was a financial motivation. So it was an opportunity to have extra income. And then as my time in the Coast Guard grew, I became very committed and understanding how important it was for service. The other thing is that the Coast Guard was very good in terms of retirement benefits and just taking care of the service member. Now, understand, I retired almost 35 years ago, and even the mission for the Coast Guard has changed. Now it's Homeland Security, but I strongly support, especially for young people, to have some type of involvement in military service, whether it's reserves or active duty.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Well, I think that is all of our questions, but if you have anything else you'd like to share, we'd love to hear any special stories or anything that you have in mind.
Well, I think one of the things that I would like to share is that in the Coast Guard, and I believe in any military service, you become part of a family, a support system. And, all the time it's not exactly as you may picture it, but as I say, there are rules and regulations that govern individuals, and I think that you can develop a nice career. And education-wise, even after college, there's plenty of opportunities pretty much in any field. I love the Coast Guard because everything in the Coast Guard, the 22 positions in the Coast Guard transferred immediately into jobs in your civilian life. So, I'm a very strong supporter of the United States Coast Guard.
Okay. Well, thank you again so much for being with us today. We appreciate your time.
All right.